You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
That's the wine and diner with kings and queens.
You're looking at the man. You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the show. Haven't been back for 2 weeks. If you guys didn't know, basically what happened is last week I recorded 2 shows that you will never hear. Well, what happened with the original Thursday show that I was going to record was, so what happened was I recorded on here, which I usually do when it's just, a solo show. The only time I ever go on Spreaker Studio is when I have a guest. So I was recording on here, it's finished. I already chopped it and edited everything. I already took out the background noise. And what I usually do is after I'm done with that, that's when I put in the intro and the outro. So, I don't know if you guys do use Audacity, here's what I usually do is that I'll drag the intro and the outro onto the file that I already have. And they'll be on the bottom. So what I'll do on the top, which is, the recording, is I'll drag it to the end of the intro, which is on the bottom. So that way it makes it a lot easier just to fade in and out. For whatever reason, the file didn't want to drag. It didn't want to drag, to the right. It would drag left, but it wouldn't drag to the right. I can't really give you a reason as to why it would do that. It's just weird. But, so, and then the screen decided to do that whole not responding thing. I don't know why. And I guess this is partly on me. I clicked off. I ended up losing the file. So I lost almost 2 hours worth of a show last week. So that's a show you'll never hear. That's including the watch along, which was that 45-50 minute match with Sting and Flair, which is I'm not going to rewatch that match. So that's that. So to make up for it, on Saturday, early, I decided to record another show because there's more news. I reviewed The Boys. I reviewed SmackDown and draft picks. Speaking of which, oh, never mind, I already saved it. But, hold on, I need to turn this shit off so this doesn't become a problem. Alright, so I recorded that on Spreaker Studio. And I decided I'm going to include the intro in the recording and not just add it later. So I'm already finished. I get to edit here on Audacity, and I don't know how. Okay, so if you guys, you guys already know I have a fan on in my room because it gets hot here in Texas. Granted, it's starting to cool down a little bit because of fall, and we're also getting closer to winter. So I'm not gonna turn the fan off at all. So you hear the sound of the fan in the background, but I don't know how, but it just decided to completely chop and fuck up my voice. And it's one thing if you hear the fan, because I can work with a fan in the background. I can work with that. And if you can still hear me, then that's fine. But in this recording, you literally cannot hear anything I'm saying. You can't hear me. I almost sound robotic. It was bad. I was pissed because I did 3 hours worth of podcasting and you still can't hear me. It was heartbreaking for me because I like doing these shows. I like being able to put out these shows for you guys, listen to and have fun. And it hurt my feelings. It kind of hurt me a little bit. It kind of pissed me off. What the fuck was that? Someone knock on the door? Hold up. Pause. Alright, sorry about that. My cat fell off the perch that's right outside the room because he didn't have his blanket on cleaning that. Sorry about that. But, yeah, I mean, I was just a little bummed out last week that, usually when the audio comes out fucked up, I take this show very seriously. I take the recordings, I take what I do seriously, and when I literally can't put out a show, like, to me, it's just like, I'm not going to put out a show you guys can hear. I refuse it. So, luckily, I'm recording on here. So there really should be no faults, except for, the occasional fan in the background. So, I don't know what Spreaker Studio's problem is. Like, I don't know how that happened. I don't know why that happened. Spreaker Studio, you literally just need to turn off a fan. So I'm just waiting for winter to come, so I don't need a fan on the back. So other than that, I've been all right. Any PS4 users out there, like, PlayStation 4 has been down. The servers have been down for a week. I have not been able. Like, you can still play. You can still get on and play. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can play any games that you bought online, as far as I know. But you can't stream, you can't download anything, you can't even watch, like, the apps that you have in there. Because I have HBO Max on my PS4, and my PS4 is in my room, or in the main room. I mean, for me and my girl. So we can't do anything on there. In here, the servers up and down. And it's not just me, it's everybody else. Like, there's actually a site you can go to where it shows you the everything that's kind of not working for PlayStation. And I'm logged out. I can't even log back in. I don't know what the fucking deal is. And probably the more, like, pompous part of it, on PlayStation's, end is, like, they're on here talking about, we have a new sale going on in the store. Buy these 15 games for blah 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 price. And it's like, how are we supposed to buy them when the servers aren't working, dude? It's just it's frustrating. It's frustrating because I'm already paying $10.80 a month on PS Plus, and I just got PS Now, and I'm paying $10 for that, and I can't even use it because the servers are fucked up. I have no idea why. I mean, Xbox is completely fine, but PlayStation is. I don't get what the deal is. And literally a month before their new console comes out, so I don't know if this is something that they can fix in time, or because there's gonna be a lot of pissed off people with those new PS5s that can't play because the servers are fucked up. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So, I mean, I could call them, but I don't know what their answer is going to be. I don't know if they're going to say, "Hey, we're working on them." It's just frustrating when all you want to do is just play PlayStation, and you can't because their network is deciding to, like, completely shit the bed. But Xbox Ultimate Game Pass is fun, so there's that. Basically what Xbox is doing is, if you already have a gold, or even if you don't, like, say you already have a gold account, if you sign up for their Ultimate Game Pass, it'll just absorb your gold account, and you go from paying $9.99 a month to $14.99, but you get access to newer games at a discounted price. From what I heard, you get to play this library of different games on your console. You can also play on your phone, on your Android phone or your tablet, by, of course, if you have a controller that has Bluetooth, you can play games on your phone. And it's pretty cool because, I have the phone clip that you kind of need, and I'm playing Destiny, and it has all my shit saved on Destiny 2, I mean. So I'm playing Destiny 2 on my phone. It's pretty cool. I mean, there's only certain games you can play because they'll have, PC games, console games, and also mobile games. So it's a work in progress, but so far it's dope. I love it. And as far as that goes, what else am I doing? I've been binging the Haunting on Bly Manor, which is not a sequel. I guess it's I guess you can call it a like an anthology of Haunting on Hill House from last year, where it's not based on the haunting at all, because the haunting was at Hill House, but it had nothing to do with the haunting. Like, you didn't see Liam Neeson, save everybody in the show. I guess it's loosely based on the book, but it's like a story within a story. It's horror, but it's not really horror. It's not really a horror story. It has ghosts, it has its spirits, but it's basically about a family, dealing with shit. And living in this house really took its toll on the family. So it's really a story about a family. And it's interesting, but it's not jump scares galore. It's about building tension, which is good, because too many jump scares can really ruin something. Because jump scares at the end of the day are cheap. They're cheap. They're cheap pops. Like in wrestling, cheap. There's cheap heat if all you're gonna do is just go out there and swear and call everybody an asshole and a bitch. Those are basically jump scares. This season is different because it takes place in a different era. It takes place in a different time. The showrunner, Mike Flanagan, who did the first season, is really one of those directors that will use actors that he's more familiar with, in his shit, and that works as long as they can pull it off. And that's what he does in this season, because the main chick in here was in the first season, and then the guy who played the dad in the first season is in here, but for some reason he has a British accent, which is just like, and I know that guy, he's from San Antonio. Like, he's not British at all. Like, I mean, he can pull off a British accent. I'll give him that, but he's not British at all. So I think that's interesting. And I think he was Elliot in E.T. in the first E.T. Well, I mean, there's only one E.T., but it's crazy because you got a lot of non-British actors and actresses, playing British roles. So as long as they can pull it off, that's all that matters. As far as there's no outrage, it's just like, why are you have these Americans playing British roles, huh? Like, where's the fucking outrage for that? Where's the fake outrage that people had for Apu, who was a character on a animated show for like 30 years? Where's that outrage? Where's that fake outrage? I just turned this into a rant for no reason. I don't know why, but that's basically what I've been up to. Yeah, I'm enjoying my days off, and they go by quick. Yeah, let's get into some wrestling. By the way, there's no watch along today. I didn't really bother to put up a list. So, can we go? You want to go with the draft first, and then we can get into NXT and AEW? Let's see. So, for Raw, let's see. Round 1, they drafted The Fiend, Randy Orton, Charlotte Flair, Braun Strowman, Matt Riddle, Jeff Hardy, which I thought was interesting. It seems like SmackDown lost a lot because Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy were very big parts of the show, and now they're not on there. Then you got Retribution, which I don't think that makes sense. The whole gimmick doesn't make sense, but the fact that they got contracts and now they're drafted, I mean, I would think they would try to fuck with the draft, but okay. Keith Lee on Raw, which I haven't really been enjoying Keith Lee as of late. Him being on the main roster, him being on the main roster, I've not enjoyed. It's a weird thing because I can't really say that they buried him because he hasn't really been losing, but they've taken away everything about him that made him him. I mean, first of all, they gave him a really bad outfit. They made him wear a shirt, which is stupid. I mean, Otis doesn't wear a shirt. Why can't Keith Lee not wear a shirt? I mean, why? And then they take away his theme, which, I mean, there was a reason behind it, I guess. There's legal reasons. And they have him going out there just cutting these really awful promos. I mean, in due time, I guess we're going to see something with them, but I don't like it. I'm not liking what they're doing with Keith Lee. They're almost ruining Keith Lee. And then Alexa Bliss is on Raw with The Fiend, and Drew McIntyre is the WWE champion on Raw. Elias returned, attacking Jeff Hardy, which is, again, going to be another feud that doesn't make any sense. Sheamus is on Raw. Nikki Cross is on Raw. R-Truth is on Raw. Dabba-Kato from Raw Underground, so I guess they're going to make him into a thing. Titus O'Neil, Peyton Royce, Akira Tozawa, Lana, Riddick Moss, and Arturo Ruas, another Underground guy. So let's see what they're going to do with these guys. And then on the WWE Network announcement exclusive, Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado. And for SmackDown, Shorty G. It's like, ugh. That'll be the last time I ever say Shorty G. I hate that fucking name. Let's see, SmackDown. Round 1, you had Bayley as the Women's SmackDown Champion. She's passed a milestone. She's had the title for over 400 days, so good for her. And we'll go talk about Bayley in a bit. The Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, are on SmackDown. And Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens on SmackDown is interesting. Lars Sullivan. Surprised that he's back. I'm surprised that he's back and getting himself into more trouble. He apparently sent like some inappropriate DMs to... Well, not apparently, he did. He sent some inappropriate DMs to somebody, which we'll talk about in a bit. King Corbin, Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn, Nakamura and Cesaro, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Apollo Crews, Carmella, Aleister Black, Natalya, the Riot Squad. Big E is staying on SmackDown. The New Day are on Raw. The New Day won the tag titles back. So at the moment, the New Day are kind of no more. I mean, I don't know if that's an official thing. They kind of made it out to be on the show. But they have, I don't know, they haven't really made a big, an official announcement. Like, you didn't see Kofi and Xavier. Xavier made his comeback, by the way, so it's good to see Xavier back. You didn't see Kofi or Xavier say, we miss you, man, we need you back in the New Day. Like, I think it's going to be one of those things where the New Day are still a faction. They're just on different shows. Like, Big E can still represent the New Day, but he's still going to do his own thing. I mean, and let's face it, we needed this from Big E. We've been saying for the longest time, we need Big E to do his own thing, because Big E, again, talented in the ring, good on the mic. He needs to stop with the silly shit, though. Not to the point where he's too serious, because Big E can't pull off serious. Like, he could be serious, but he can't be, like, intimidating serious, because he tried doing that when he first came in. Like, still be your own man, but just cut the wacky shit out. That's all I'm asking. Like, don't come out throwing pancakes to the crowd. Enough with that long sports coat or whatever the fuck that is that you wear to the ring. Like, just be serious when you go out there. You know what I mean? Ugh. Yeah, Bayley. Let's talk about Bayley. The PWI put out the top 100 female wrestlers of 2020 list. And the number one woman is Bayley. Which, hey, good choice. I wouldn't have had it other way. Bayley, she's had the biggest turnaround, in the past year, where she went from being, when she started this, when she started doing, the heel gimmick, cutting her hair, to just almost being like this generic cookie cutter, heel gimmick, to owning it, to being something where it almost seems like it fits her, to where it seems like, yeah, this seems like it might be Bayley. Like, we all know Bayley is a nice person, we all know Bayley's cool as shit, And she said it herself. The empty arenas, helped because it helped her develop this heel character. It helped being able to go out there and exude and and talk loud and be annoying, and that works for her. Like her whole heel gimmick is that she's cocky as hell. She's cocky and she's loud. She's kind of annoying. Like, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of Bayley. Like, because again, Bayley is nice. She's cool as hell, but she seems like the type of girl that could be a little bit annoying. You know what I mean? And she got a fat ass, by the way. I mean, it's neither here nor there, but I had to say it. But which Batista decided to point on Instagram. Let's see. The full 100 list came out. Should I go through it? Yeah, I guess I can go through it. Number 2 is Becky Lynch. Makes sense. Asuka, fine with that. Charlotte, I don't know. Yeah, we'll leave that there for now. Sasha Banks, recently she's improved, but for the whole year of 2020, I don't know about that. Hikaru Shida, I can't really speak on that. Tessa, fair. Riho, no. Io Shirai, I think she should be a little higher. I don't know. Mayu Iwatani, I don't know who that is. Rhea Ripley should be higher. She should be a lot higher on this list. She should be easily top 5. Easily top 5. Jordan Grace, she's on Impact, so I don't really know about that. Shayna Baszler should be higher on this list. Thunder Rosa, I think, should be a little higher, not just because she follows me and because I love her, but just saying. Kimberly, who the fuck is that? Who's Kimberly? I'll have to get back to that. Nyla Rose, I guess that's fine. Taya Valkyrie, that's fine. Kaylee Ray, that's fine. Kylie Ray. Nikki Cross. Maybe she should be a little higher than most of these girls. Based on her character alone, should maybe be a little higher. Shit in the ring, but her character is just amazing. I love her character. Bianca Belair should probably be a little higher on this list. Dakota Kai definitely I think should be higher. Allison Kay. Who's that? Allison Kay. Yeah, forgive me. I don't know who most of these women are. Tegan Nox. I guess that's fine. Alexa Bliss. Momo. Actually, I can't really recall Alexa Bliss having too many matches this year. Momo Watanabe. I don't know who that is. Mercedes Martinez. At the moment, I think that's fine because she just started on NXT and the main roster. Deonna Purrazzo should probably be a little higher. Ivelisse at 31. I should probably say the numbers. Chris Statlander, number 32. Number 33 is Jessica Havoc. I need RJ on this show because we can go through this. Number 34 is Candice LeRae. Number 35 is Lufisto. That's Mish's girl. 36 is Mia Yim. 37 is Bea Priestley. I'm not going to go through this whole list. I'm going to wait till I have somebody else on the show that's more qualified to go with these names. But Rhea Ripley, I think, should be in the top 5. She should be easily over Banks. Like, Sasha Banks should not be in the top 5. Sasha Banks has started to kind of resurge her career, but for the year of 2020, I don't really recall her really being around that much. Actually, let me take that back. She was, but I don't know if she should be top 5. I think Rhea Ripley should be at least 4 or 5. Like, the way it goes, you got Bayley, Becky, Asuka, Rhea, and Io. I'm going to go with those names. Those are my top 5 women of the year. But I'll see if I can get someone on the show next week so we can go over this list. So, and we're going to talk about Lars in a bit. Hold on, let me pull up these DMs that he was sending. All right, Lars Sullivan. So where are these DMs? Okay, I'm trying to look for these DMs. I don't know where the hell they are. This would be a lot easier if the show was still up. What the fuck? Where is it? Alright, now I need to go on Twitter. Fuck. Okay, maybe I think I shared it. No. No. What the fuck? Where is it? Alright. Okay, here we go. Is this the right one? God damn it, where is it? Okay, here we go. Somebody named Yoga for the athlete on Instagram shared DMs from Lars Sullivan. Let's see. He says, I've been using the Supple Warrior by Annika for about 6 weeks now, and it was such a good decision. As a lifelong athlete, football, wrestling, weightlifting, I've constantly looked for ways to optimize and enhance my physical well-being and health. I must say I'm pretty well versed in training methodologies, but Annika taught me stuff I never knew. Incredibly beautiful. I absolutely love your legs, young booty pics, no son. Hey Lars, I'm going to refund you your money. I told you before I block people who send me messages like this, so you've kind of had a warning. I don't have time to work with clients who don't respect boundaries. I'm a happily married woman. It's also not very smart on your part, given you're quite well known. And let's see, what the fuck am I looking at? And it's just Venmo request or whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, I'm surprised this guy hasn't gone. I'm surprised this guy still has a job. Like I really am. It's just, how long has this guy been in this company? Like, what is it like? Or on the main roster, really? Was it like a year and a half, 2 years? So he can't be on the main roster because he has anxiety. But yet he was in NXT in front of crowds. And I'm not going to mock people for anxiety, but it's like, you knew what the job was, dude. Like, you knew what it entails. You knew you were going to be in front of audiences, traveling. Why all of a sudden you have anxiety? Like, it just boggles my mind. Then he gets hurt, which again, not his fault. And then the infamous tape comes out. The gay porn video, which I think Mish cleared it up. I think it was gay for pay and not really gay. Like, it's straight guys doing gay porn, but they're getting paid for it. So, I can't really say they should have fired him for that, because then that would have made him look bad. Because then, WWE is very much about image. They're very much about their image. So, if they would have let this guy go, that would have made them look like homophobes. And they want to really portray that they're all about diversity, because I think they just had Pride Month like a couple months ago. And then before that, there were these insensitive comments that he made on a bodybuilding forum, where he made racist comments. And now this. So, and now he's on SmackDown, or was it SmackDown or Raw? Yes, fuck. I'm forgetting. SmackDown, there you go. And it looks like he's getting a big push. So, I'm very baffled that this guy still even has a job. I don't understand. I mean, if it's just one thing and it happened already, it's like with the Paige shit. Why does she still have a job? With the porn movies, I mean, the way however you look at it, you can say that they shouldn't fire her, but she thanked her lucky stars that her movie came out, and that The Rock was backing it, because she would have been fired years ago. And yet, she's on social media publicly bashing her company, talking about how much time she's put in. Okay. Lars, I don't get it. I don't get what's wrong with this company. There's guys on this roster that do things that would have had them fired years ago. With Lars, it's just, I hate to sound cold because I don't want to see anyone lose their job, but it's just, they need to cut their losses with this guy, because this guy just, it seems like if it's not one thing, it's the other. This guy is always having problems. This guy is always having some skeletons in his closet. So they need to cut their losses with this dude already, in my opinion. They do. They really need to. I don't know if Vince likes him or if somebody in the back that's important likes him. They need to just get rid of him, because no one's gonna forget the gay videos. I mean, they're lucky that they're not in front of hot crowds, because they would have brought this up. You would have been hearing chants of Mitch. You would have been seeing, signs of him in whatever the fuck that guy's name was. I mean, I'm surprised they're not doing it in the Thunderdome. The guy's nothing but trouble, and he's just. If I were Vince, I'd cut my losses with him, and Paige, but that's another story for another time. Right. So I guess we can get to NXT and AEW. Wrote my notes. I actually did notes this time. I haven't done notes in a while. It's weird because I watched AEW first because it was AEW's anniversary show. So I watched AEW live, believe that or not, and I watched NXT, on the recording afterwards. So I can talk about NXT first. Undisputed Era comes out. They open the show. Kyle O'Reilly talks. Says that he's still not medically cleared after his match with Finn. Adam Cole is still resting at home. They still want a shot at the tag team titles. So Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan come out and challenge him, and they say, we heard you had a Ridge Holland problem. That's not going to be a problem anymore because what happened last week. Ridge Holland's going to be out for a while. So they have a match to determine who's going to face the tag champs at Halloween Havoc. And, it's a good back and forth match, but, I've seen these two wrestle before. So, it's not like these two haven't wrestled before. They work well together because, Lorcan and Burch's style is that they're very, smash mouth, in your face. They stretch you out. And then Strong and Fish are very much, the indie tag team. They go out there. They're the technical tag team, if that's another way to put it. So, Undisputed Era wins, so they get the title shots, which it would have been nice if Lorcan and Burch won, just so we can see like a new matchup, because I don't hate the Undisputed Era, but it's just like we don't need to see them all the time. And they're over. They're going to be over no matter what. Let's see. Yeah, the Jake Atlas versus Adonis. That was the guy that came out and helped. What the fuck is his name? I'm blanking. Swerve Scott. There you go. In the Cruiserweight title match on Sunday. Couple weeks ago. And they had a match, and then Wild and Mendoza from Phantasma came out and distracted him, caused him the match, and then he attacked him, and then Atlas came out and evened the odds. The leader, I'm forgetting his fucking name. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name. Shit. Why am I blanking on his name? I've said it like 8 million times before. Hold on. Let's see. Escobar. There you go. Escobar came out, and it was going to be 3-on-2. And then Swerve Scott came out and evened the odds, so now that's still a feud, which, It's just, I guess it's because I don't really care about the Cruiserweight title, and it seems like they don't. But Scott's already lost. He's lost twice. So I don't know why they want to keep this going, but maybe it's because they don't really have anyone. Let's see. We had Johnny Gargano versus Austin Theory. One thing I wrote in my notes was who's the heel and who's the face. I don't recall Austin Theory turning face, and I don't recall Johnny Gargano turning heel. I thought it was an okay match. I have heat. At this moment, I have turn off the TV heat with Johnny Gargano. I'm not a fan of his. Really not. I've really done a 180 on the guy because I was singing his praises years ago. Now I'm at the point where I'm just like, can we get this guy off my TV? Like, can he be just the Daniel Bryan of NXT in a sense where he's putting over the younger talent? Like, have him go out there and put over, the younger guys in NXT. He does not need to be the champion. He does not need to be the main eventer. He needs to just be the guy putting people over. And it's just, for Gargano, it's a thing of, he's not going to be on the main roster. There's no chance in hell he's ever going to be on the main roster. He's kind of stuck in NXT. Maybe that's by choice, but Austin Theory is another guy I'm kind of growing fond of because the guy has a look. He has a good look, decent on the mic, good in the ring. I don't get why he's losing all these matches though. I really don't. Like, he seems like a guy they would have put a rocket ship on his back and say, okay, you're gonna go undefeated for months until you face the champion, then you're gonna lose. But he's been losing a lot of matches. And it's going to become a thing of like Deonna Purrazzo where they were giving her that treatment of, hey, you're going to be one of our solid performers, but instead they just made her lose to everybody. And now she's an Impact and she's the champion and she's tearing it up over there. So for Austin Theory, like, I'm kind of worried that this is a guy that they really should pay attention to. Like, he kind of looks like a young AJ Styles in some aspects. So, I think Austin needs to start winning some matches, in my opinion. He needs to start winning some matches. I don't get why he's losing. I really don't. Maybe it has something to do with the whole talking to a 13-year-old on Instagram thing. Maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they know something I don't know. So, number one contenders match for the Women's Championship at Halloween Havoc. You got Shotzi versus Candice. Shotzi Blackheart versus Candice LeRae. I don't like that Candice one because why do we need to see Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai again? I didn't even want to see it the first time. Another thing that kind of doesn't make sense is that Shotzi Blackheart is supposed to be she's supposed to be the host of Halloween Havoc, correct? And yet she's not in a prominent match. Like, wouldn't that make more sense that you're the host, but you're also going to be fighting for the championship? I don't get that logic. And then, so basically during the match, Indy Hartwell, she gives Candice LeRae brass knucks. And then Candice, while the referee isn't looking, punches Shotzi in the face and goes for the pin. So now Indy Hartwell is, in Team Gargano for whatever reason. Toni Storm making her not debut, but her comeback to NXT, looking thicker than ever. I made the comment of whoever the cameraman who was in charge of her entrance that showed just primarily her ass in the beginning. He needs a raise. He needs a raise and a promotion. But yeah, like Toni Storm, she looks thick. She looks thicker than ever, and I'm not complaining. I like it. She comes out against Aaliyah, another thick girl. Toni Storm's like, her shit looks good. Like, she doesn't look sloppy in the ring. She looks like she's beating the shit out of people. And I guess that's like a European thing. Like, regardless of who you are, you're beating the shit out of people. So I liked what I saw from her in a squash match. So I want to see more of her, and just not just the obvious part, but I want to see her. I want to see more of her in the ring. So with Toni Storm back on NXT, like, I don't know if they've lifted any bans on travel, for COVID. So we're going to see more and more people, that are stuck overseas, come back to the States. Are we going to see Walter back? Because I desperately want to see Walter back. Are we going to see Pete Dunne? Are we going to see Tyler Bate? Or are we going to see Pac back in AEW. I definitely hope so. I want to see more of these people back. Let's see, Maverick and Killian versus Imperium. I did not really pay attention. I was doing laundry. And then the main event, you had Damien Priest defending the North American Championship against Dexter Loomis. I wrote in my notes, it was a very interesting matchup because these two guys are... I think Loomis has a little bit more muscle on him. Like, he's definitely built. He's very built. He's probably a couple inches shorter than Priest. Priest is very tall. But at the same time, these guys really did even up pretty well. Dexter Loomis, I've been saying, he's very good in the ring. His stuff looks good. It doesn't look fake. It doesn't look stupid. The one thing I just have a problem with is his gimmick, because his whole gimmick is that he's a serial killer. I don't recall a serial killer doing bulldogs, doing leg drops, or whatever he does in the ring. My whole thing is, the wrestling his in-ring ability is fine, but the character doesn't match the ability. Like, if any, he should be trying to get the character over first before getting the moves over. But, I mean, then again, what I know. I mean, I don't hate Dexter Loomis, but these two matched up pretty well. Very good back and forth. I was very entertained. This is, I mean, without a doubt, the best match of the night. The best match I've seen Dexter Loomis had. And possibly the best match I've seen Priest have. Good until the ending. Cameron Grimes came out and attacked Loomis. Continue their feud. And then Priest goes for the pin and wins. And then right when he's leaving, he sees Grimes in the ring talking shit. And he takes out Grimes. So I said that on Twitter. I thought both main events for both shows are good. I just didn't like the ending, which is usually kind of the case with a lot of matches. All right. Let me get comfortable. Okay. So on to AEW. Their anniversary show. The first match was for the tag titles. You had FTR versus the Best Friends. No entrance. The match literally began with both teams in the ring. So, I mean, I wrote a lot of notes for this match. I don't know, I guess the match was okay, but it was too long. Again, that's just always my thing with these AEW matches, is that they think long matches equal great matches. I thought they really could have done well in just 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I don't know how long this match was, but it felt like it was 30 minutes. It felt like it was at least over 30 minutes. Let's see. Before the match, they made a point to really show Kip Sabian in the crowd with Penelope playing on his arcade that he, for whatever reason, had in the audience. So let's jump to, I guess, the climax of the match. So was it Trent? Not Trent. Was it Trent and Cash were fighting in the audience, and Trent's trying to go after Cash, and then Cash gets out of the way. He ends up destroying Kip's whole arcade that he conveniently had out in the audience. And which when I saw that, I'm like, okay, this is going to be their way of starting a feud over an arcade. Whatchamacallit? Tully just doesn't really do anything when he's at ringside. I don't know what his purpose is there. He really maybe does one or two things, but that's about it. There was a point where Cash had the belt out where the referee could actually see it, while Dax is like moving him towards the ropes. The referee could literally see that Cash had the belt, but for whatever reason he ducked. So Cash can hit Trent in the face, and then they end up winning the match. Which I'm just like, You literally couldn't see him with the belt in his fucking hand. Like, how stupid are these referees in this company? Like, they don't follow their own rules. So Miro comes out and destroys both of, the best friends. And Miro looking jacked as fuck. Then Miro and Kip had a match against what I don't even get their names. I don't even bother to get their names. I put Great Value Usos. They literally look like the Usos. And Miro does most of the work. Miro goes for, I don't know what he's calling it now, but I still call it the accolade. He ends up botching his own move. Instead of having the two hands in front of the face, he has it over the head. And the guy still taps out. I mean, good for Miro for acknowledging it, but it's just... That's probably the best I've seen Miro look. Because they actually had him go out there be an ass kicker. But then he decides to cut a promo and telling the best friends, you destroyed my friend's video game, I'm coming after you. How far have we come in wrestling where a feud starts over a video game? I mean, come on. Oy. So we go to the back. Archer is attacking Moxley to, build up their championship main event. MJF comes out for an announcement. There's a lot of stuff I didn't put on here because there's a lot of stuff I didn't pay attention to, mainly the last segments. MJF comes out and calls out Jericho. He gives Sammy a jacket that's 2 sizes too big, which was, funny. Jericho, for whatever reason, hates Animal Planet for I don't know what reason. I'm just reading off my notes. MJF kind of wants to join the Inner Circle. He tells Jericho, I kind of maybe hypothetically somewhat want to join the Inner Circle. And then Jericho, says, you kind of want to somewhat hypothetically join the Inner Circle. And Jericho challenges him next week to a steak dinner. And decides to sell it like they're having a match. And then MJF accepts it like they're having a match. Ugh. What are they doing with MJF? I mean, what are they doing? This could easily be a big feud. This could be a money feud. So Jericho is a comedy wrestler. I think we've already accepted that. And now he's making MJF do the same shit. MJF is sinking us. I mean, MJF was funny. I'll give him that. He was funny, but he was more, I'm going to be a cocky, arrogant, prick funny. I'm going to be a cocky, arrogant prick to the point where it's almost funny. In this, he's just being a complete goof. He's almost, for him to question himself, to ask for help is just, that kind of ruined him. Jericho might as well pull his dick out and piss in his mouth. Because I think MJF, it looks like he's almost getting ruined. And now you're having a steak dinner segment next week. We barely get MJF as it is, and now we're getting him in this goofy shit. And next week we have to see him have a steak dinner with Jericho. What's next? Are they going to have sex? Are Jericho and MJF going to go back to a hotel and have hardcore, provocative sex? I don't get what they're doing here. I don't get what they're doing with MJF. I really don't. You're telling me that they don't have anything for him instead of doing this goofy shit. They have all the time in the world for Orange Cassidy. They can give all the time in the world to the fucking best friends and Kip Sabian and his video game bullshit, which I like video games, but come on. But you don't have anything for MJF, your top heel. You don't have anything for him to do. You can't have him have a feud with Jungle Boy. You can't put him in a fucking You can't even put him in that tournament for next week. What the fuck? I mean, fuck. Put him in a feud with Sammy, since Sammy doesn't like him. What the fuck are they doing? I really don't know what they're doing with MJF anymore. I really don't. And it saddens me. Because again, he's your top heel. He is probably the best heel in wrestling. And you're giving him these stupid comedy bits. Ugh. I don't know anymore. Britt Baker does a promo where she's at a spa with Tony Schiavone and she realizes he's naked, and there's that. TNT title match, Cody defending against Orange Cassidy. Cody is now blonde again, which I don't know why. He had the black hair for 3 weeks. He decided to go back to blonde. He's better in black, personally. I prefer the black hair of the blonde hair. He looks way too pale with the blonde hair. It was interesting seeing Cody. It was good to see Cody not do the dumb shit, not do the dumb comedical shit that Orange Cassidy likes to do. Like the bit where he puts his hands in his pockets, Cody shoves them. And like Cody's trying to psych him. Cody really doing a lot of heel work for a guy who's not a heel. Like he really works like a heel. I don't get why they don't pull the trigger on just letting Cody be a heel. He's better off as a heel, personally. The Dork Order come out for whatever reason. Orange Cassidy has the belt. Looks like he's about to screw Cody, but decides I'm just going to win this on my own accord. And was it Darby Allin, for whatever reason, has a title match at Full Gear instead of actually getting a No More Contenders match. So that was random. He's in the crowd watching. But yeah, like there was a 20-minute time limit. Time ran out. I didn't think Cody would have to be stuck babysitting this fucking idiot, Orange Cassidy, because now they're gonna have a rematch in 2 weeks. So you mean to tell me that Orange Cassidy is on the same level as Cody? Because as much shit as I've given Cody personally, I've always said of all the guys on the show, he's probably the only one that doesn't do stupid shit. Like he's the one that actually goes out there and wrestles. He's the one that his stuff looks believable. His promos are believable. I mean, his promos can be a little too theatric for my taste. But he doesn't do stupid shit. He's the only one that takes everything seriously. And now he has to put over this fucking queef. Orange Cassidy. Now Orange Cassidy is on the same level as Cody. Now Orange Cassidy's getting another rematch. What is it about him that people see that I don't see? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really don't. Like, he's supposed to be an up-and-comer, but he's in his mid-30s. He's not good in the ring. He can't run the ropes. He has a stupid gimmick. The gimmick was... His gimmick is so stupid that Impact didn't want him. That Ring of Honor didn't want him. And yet, AEW took him. He's not a wrestler. I'm sorry. Orange Cassidy is not a fucking wrestler. He is not a fucking wrestler. Now there's Marco Stunt. But he's irrelevant, so we're not even talking about him. Orange Cassidy is a gimmick. He's not a wrestler. If he was in WWE, he'd be a gimmick. He would not be getting any ring time. Vince would see him and just laugh at him. This guy's funny. He wants to wrestle. No, he's going to be my Santino. He'd be Santino. And you know what? There's no shame in having a Santino career. But Orange Cassidy sucks. I don't get it. I really don't get it. He looks like somebody out of the crowd. Why do people like him? I really don't know. Why do people like most of the shit on this show? I don't know. But now, again, Cody unfortunately has to be stuck with this guy. I don't know if it's by choice or because the office made him. So Moxley and Archer continue to fight backstage, and they make their main event no DQ. Matt Hardy segment. Matt Hardy comes out and says that he's almost ready to go. We go to a vignette of somebody showing, Matt Hardy photos, and it ends up being Sammy. So now they're going to continue this. Sammy confesses that he was the one that attacked Matt Hardy in the back weeks ago. And Matt Hardy, on Twitter, dropping hints that it might be a Hardy compound match, which I replied to him. I just said, dude, whatever you do, don't take any more bumps. Do not fall off anything. Why can't this just be a straight-up wrestling match? Like, Matt Hardy is almost 50. He's mid-40s, I believe. He does not need to be doing any more of this hardcore shit. Same thing with Jeff. I don't want to see Jeff taking any more bumps. I don't want to see Jeff doing any more stupid, reckless shit. I want to see Matt and Jeff be able to play with their grandkids. I want to see Matt and Jeff be able to walk their kids down the aisle. I want to see Jeff Hardy be able to take his daughter to the prom. or not take her to the prom, but I want to see him walk his daughter down the aisle and dance with her at her wedding. I want to see Matt Hardy be able to take his boys, to soccer practice, or to teach them how to throw a spiral. Like, I don't want to see them hurt. I want to see them be able to walk by the time they're 50 or 60. I don't want to see them in a wheelchair. I really don't. So just I don't want to see Matt do any more of this reckless shit. I really don't. Women's title match. She had fucking blinking her name. Hiroshita defending against Big Swole. I put meh. Anything involving Big Swole is meh. So let's move on to the main event. From here on out, I'm invoking my Big Swole card. Anytime I see Big Swole on the TV screen, I am changing it. That's new rule here on out. So you had the main event. World title match, no DQ. Moxley versus Archer. It was an excuse to make it a no DQ, which, again, I guess it makes sense, because these two, I guess they have a blood feud. And if you're going to have a blood feud, then you can't just have a regular wrestling match. I thought the match was entertaining. I mean, granted, there was a lot of stupid indie shit, which, that's another thing I need to talk about, which, okay, a lot of these indie guys, when you're on the main roster, when you're on television, you're getting paid. You're already getting paid, so you don't have to do any more of that reckless shit. So why do you fucking do it? Why? That's a thinker. That should be maybe one of the titles for tonight's episode. Why do you have to do it? So good back and forth. It was entertaining to watch. Moxley selling, making it look like he was going to lose. I mean, I didn't think Moxley was going to lose. I really do think Moxley does need to drop that title pretty soon. Let's see, Archer goes for his move, goes for the pin, decides to lay on his back for the pin, and then Moxley wins with a roll-up in a no DQ match. Moxley wins with a roll-up in a no DQ match. That's like in the Avengers, like in Avengers Endgame. Instead of Thanos being wiped away, spoilers, instead of Tony Stark putting on the glove and saying, "I am Iron Man," and wiping Thanos out of existence, he should have just went up to Thanos and just slapped him. Just pimp slap him with the gauntlet. And then that's how the Avengers win. And the movie ends with just showing Thanos on the ground. You just see the credits. That's the equivalent of this. It's like, if you're going to have a no DQ, spot fest, or not a spot fest, but a no DQ brawl match, it should not end in DQ. It should have a crazy ending. But it should not end, or not, what the fuck did I just say? It should not end in a roll-up. It should have a crazy ending, but not a roll-up. That's just cheap. So, after which, Eddie Kingston and the family came out and attacked both guys, and that's how the anniversary show for AEW went off the air. Ah, man. This show. If it wasn't for this show, I wouldn't be watching it. So, let's kind of close it out by talking about more news. The final names for the AEW tournament to determine who's going to face the AEW champion in the future. You have Felix versus Penta, which should be a good match. I mean, it should be a good match, but we'll see what AEW lets him do. Kenny Omega versus Joey Janela, so basically a match that I have no interest in watching. Colt Cabana versus Hangman Page, I guess we already know who's going to win this. Wardlow versus Jungle Boy, we already know who's going to win this. If I had to pick anyone out of this whole group, kind of looks like it has to be a heel. The way it looks, I think the finals are going to end up being Omega versus Hangman. And that would take place at Full Gear. And I guess, I don't know if Kenny Omega's a heel, because they touch base on him being a heel, but they kind of stopped talking about him being a heel. This company is weird. This company really is weird. But yeah, if I had to pick, I would say Kenny. Not because I want them to, but that's the way it looks. Let's close out by talking about the ratings. AEW wins again with 826 viewers. NXT has 651,000 viewers. Let's see. AEW ranked number 60 in viewership, while NXT ranked number 71 in viewership. AEW drew a .30 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, while NXT drew a .17, the same demo this week. It was the lowest Wednesday rating for Dynamite in the demo, including last week's show against the VP debate. Since the July 15th episode, last week's AEW show drew a .31 rating, while NXT drew a .16 rating in the demographic. Not that it matters anyway. MLB games and the coverage of the Amy Coney Barrett Supreme Court confirmation hearing dominated cable TV this week. NXT did not make the cable top 50 for the second week in a row, ranking at number 51 this week and 56 last week. This was the first I don't care about that. The MLB ALCS game on TBS topped the night in the 18 to 49 demographic on the top cable 150 with a .68 rating, drawing 2.719 million viewers. Tucker Carlson tonight on Fox News topped the night on cable and viewership with 5.854 million viewers, ranking number 3 on the cable top 150 with a .57 rating in the key demo. The Masked Singer on Fox topped the night on network TV and viewership with an average of 6.490 million viewers. The Masked Singer also took the number 1 spot in the 18 to 49 demographic with a 1.7 rating. So, Masked Singers were more interesting than Masked Wrestlers. Just saying. Oh man, it's just the shows are not getting any better. AEW, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing anymore. Just Jericho has become a comedy wrestler, and he's trying to bring MJF down with him, which is unfortunate. Cody is stuck babysitting Orange Cassidy for whatever reason. I'm supposed to believe Orange Cassidy's on the same level as Cody. It's hard to watch the show. It's really hard to watch the show. I regret watching it first before NXT. Not to say NXT was anything to write home over, but it wasn't. Both shows weren't very good. I mean, the main event I thought was better. The main event I think probably pissed me off less than the main event on AEW. Both shows need work. Both shows need to move on different nights. NXT really does need to move to maybe Tuesday or Thursday. AEW could stay where it is. I don't know why WWE isn't considering moving it anymore. I mean, granted, you can't just move it to a night willy-nilly. You need to wait. You need permission. You need, approval, but it needs to happen soon because these shows do not need to be competing on the same night against each other. But yeah, that's the show. Again, there's no watch along this week. But be back next week. Shout outs to. Hopefully the show does get uploaded. Shout outs, to everybody. Wrestling Soup, there was no show this week due to issues, I guess. Shout out to Wrestling Soup. Shout out to Kevin Castle. He's going to be having a show. He's going to be having Castle Chronicles, which I believe is going on right now. And shout out to Trez, who just got married again. Congratulations to Trez. And then shout outs to Wrestling Court. Shout outs to DJ and the Savage, RJ and the Savage Squad Show. I'm sorry. Shout outs to Strange and Unusual, Dimension Unusual with Relly H. And let's see, Texas Podcast Massacre. And Russell Bread Podcast. Fall Scout Radio. B Show Brian. John Draper and Shaheen on the Break the Apocalypse podcast, which new episode coming out tomorrow. And what else? What else can we talk about? What else am I forgetting? Shout out to Ruben Prime TV. And that's pretty much it. I mean, shout out to everybody else if I missed anyone. And yeah, again, I'll be back next week. Hopefully this show gets uploaded. But take care, guys, and have a nice week. Laters.